guys, Azlin here with an early access review of Oxygen Not Included. Oxygen Not Included is a base building survival strategy game that is currently in early access on Steam. The game has no story right now, or any sort of objectives other than just dig, build, and survive. The gameplay revolves entirely around gathering resources to expand and maintain your colony, while ensuring the survival of all of its inhabitants, or duplicants as they're called in-game. There are a lot of survival aspects that you'll need to manage, with the main one being the oxygen levels. Other key survival elements include hunger, temperature, and stress. It can be quite overwhelming at first. There's a bit of a steep learning curve. While the game does give you some tips, I recommend using a wiki or watching some tips outside of the game. Dig, and dig some more, gather resources, and build to survive. Along with the initial crafting costs, some buildings will need to be resupplied regularly if you want to keep using them. I found that turning the buildings on or off helped a lot to conserve resources. It takes a lot of building and expanding to gather enough resources to even come close to making the base self-sustainable. In my 32 plus hours of playing, I still haven't been able to achieve this yet. All of the duplicants are random and have different stats, passive abilities, and stress responses. You don't need to micromanage these duplicants, but they'll automatically go and complete tasks that you have prioritized. The AI isn't perfect, and it will sometimes strand itself by digging in the wrong direction, but it's not usually a big deal. Managing your population also plays a role, and I found that recruiting too many duplicants is way too much of a strain on resources, so I wound up declining new recruits more often than not. When things inside the base start to go wrong, it can trigger even more things in your base to go badly, and completely spiral out of control if you don't pause the game and address the issues quickly. There were many times where I felt like my colony was on a path to extinction and I wasn't sure if I could fix the problems. Fortunately, every cycle the game autosaves, which is really nice to have if you completely screw up and kill everyone by mistake. I think the autosaves eventually overwrite, but there are plenty available to revert to. Researching new technology in-game is essential for progress, and you will be able to learn everything. You'll need to set up a stable power grid and keep everything up and running. Things like liquid and gas filtration become very important as your colony grows, filtering out toxic gases and carbon dioxide while pumping in oxygen, but at the same time managing the gas pressure and temperature in each of these areas as well. Some structures consume one type of resources and generate others, such as the scrubber that uses clean water and carbon dioxide but produces polluted water as a byproduct. There are a lot of structures to choose from, and there's quite a bit to manage. But it's all about trying to find that balance so your colony can thrive. The graphics are great, the environments and the items that you build in the base look good, and once you get a feel for what everything is, it becomes easier to keep track of everything. The characters are extremely cute, and I love the facial animations. They're extremely adorable. As for the audio, the music is decent, and the sound effects give you nice clear audio cues when something goes wrong. Control-wise, there are several keyboard shortcuts that you can use and customize, but I found that I used the mouse most of the time. There is no controller support, but even if there was, I would advise against using it. There's certainly replay value in that you will likely start over at least a few times when you figure things out, or find things that you could have done better. Oxygen Not Included is definitely one of those games where you'll want to do just one more thing, and then it winds up turning into several hour-long stretches of playing. Oxygen Not Included is a great game. Even in its early access state, the game is still very fun and very addicting. There's plenty of stuff to build and manage with more updates being added. The game has a ton of potential and I recommend it to anyone who enjoys base building survival strategy games. Just keep in mind though that the game is not finished yet, so if you're turned off by early access titles, then you might just want to wishlist this for later. I hope this early access review has helped you. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and post your feedback in the comments below. Thanks everyone, and have a wonderful day.